Chafetz Chaim in Sfat Tamim, section 6, points out that falsehood is the only sinful practice that HaKadosh Baruj Hu says in the Torah to stay away from. In the Pasuk, in the book of Exodus, chapter 23, verse number 7, says, midvar sheker tirchak. From a thing of lies, stay away from. Now, when it comes to murder, Hashem says, do not kill. When it comes to stealing, Hashem says, do not steal. When it comes to jealousy, Hashem says, do not covet. Right? But when it comes to lying, Hashem says, stay away from it. Stay away from it. Meaning, lying is so detestable by Hashem that he says, don't only not lie, but stay away from lies, meaning stay away from people that lie, stay away from companies that lie, stay away from rabbis that pretend to say the truth, but they're liars. Stay away from anything remotely close to lying. Stay away from it. Why? If you stay close enough to it, you'll fall into it. Why? It's very, very addictive. To lie is addictive. To lie is addictive. So now the Gemara in Masechet Sukkah, page 46b, rebukes the person about lying to his kid. Where it says that if you promise your kid that you're going to give him a gift, and you fail to do so, you are training your child to lie. You tell your kid, listen, if you finish your Mishnah today, I'm going to give you a present. Listen, if you get a good grade on this test, I'm going to give you a present. If you're good today, your mom doesn't complain about you, I'm going to give you a present. Right? I'm going to take you such and such place. I'm going to give you chocolate. I'm going to buy you a new book. Whatever. You can tell me I'm going to give you a present. You promise your kid something. You better have that something ready. You better have that something ready. Why? If you don't, that kid is banking on it that you are going to give him that something, that present. Whether he's doing it only for the present or not doesn't make a difference. Why? The Gemara says, Makom shelo lishma ba lishma. Even if a kid starts doing, or an adult starts doing mitzvot, he doesn't want to, but he does it anyway because you tell him to do it, because you promise him money, or you promise him reward, or whatever it is, still good. Why? Because eventually he'll do enough mitzvot, he'll want to do it. You promise that young kid a present, and he does what you say. He reads that Mishnah. He's a good boy all day. He gets a good grade. And he comes home, he says, oh, Abba, I got it. I got a 90 on my test in Chumash. I finished the Mishnah today, like you said. I cleaned my room. No. What's the present? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll get a few. Don't worry. I'll get a few like next week. I'll get a few next week. Oh, next week? All right. Okay, fine. All right. Rabotai, you just trained your kid to lie. You just trained your kid to lie. Now, you could make up for it and get him that present next week if there's some real serious circumstances of why you don't have it. You don't have any money. When you promised you had it, and you didn't, now you didn't have it, something bad happened. Okay, there's exceptions to every rule. But if this is on a regular basis, every time you promise him something you never deliver, guess what? You will teach your kid to become a liar and make false promises to everyone around him. You're going to teach your kid to be a liar and simply grow up to be a big liar. And then you have yourself a problem. There was a story that came out from the religious community, unfortunately, a few years ago, where there was a so-called religious guy that took the money of a bunch of people in a community and told them he's investing in it. He's investing it in real estate and stocks and different things. He's going to make them a lot of money. And he gathered up millions of dollars from people. And as you would have it, eventually it was discovered as a Ponzi scheme. I believe I was still in the business world when this happened, so it's been a while. Or maybe I was newly religious, but nonetheless, I know this story happened for a fact. I read it in the papers and so on, or online, wherever it was. So anyway, one day it was discovered this guy took millions and millions of dollars from the religious community, and the whole thing was a scam. It was like a Ponzi scheme, not as big as Bernie Madoff, Yimach Shemo v'zichro, Rasha, that destroyed a lot of people. But nonetheless, still destroyed a lot of families. millions and millions of dollars. Now, why am I mentioning this? Ponzi schemes happen literally on a regular basis. Even though I'm not in the business, one of the only things that I still look into once in a blue moon is this one particular journalist that I like, that he unfolds all the Ponzi schemes that are reported every day. Every day there's new ones. Every day there's new ones. Hundreds a year are caught. Needless to say, how many are not caught? Ponzi scheme where people take people's money and they steal it in one clever way or another, and then they end up getting caught, go to jail, and so on. So now, this type of stuff happens in a much larger extent when the market goes down, because people want their money back, and obviously the money doesn't exist. Market goes up, a lot of people are getting fooled, which means that a lot of people that have their money invested in places today very likely have their money in a Ponzi scheme, unfortunately. Many of them. Now, this religious guy, one of the things that struck me when I read it, that I remember it till this day, it's not Chumash, it's not Gemara. Why do I remember this story? I've read about a lot of Ponzi schemes in my life. Why does this one story stand out? Because I remember what they said in the interview, when they interviewed some of the people from the community. And they said, listen, this guy was always a problem in the community. He was always known as a liar. I don't know why anyone trusted him with money. Everyone knew the guy was a liar. Since he was a kid, he was a problem. And somehow, people forgot about it and they gave him money. Or ignored it and gave him money because of the lust for money. They disregarded the fact that he's a liar about a lot of other things. Here we see, Rabotai, how addictive lying is and how much it can turn into much worse things. Much, much worse things.
I've heard enough. New arrival screams echoing through the hallway to know that this ain't good. Once they pass them through the infierno, they don't come back. It's enough to make you go crazy.
Do not think we fear you, Spirit. We know your power is born of evil. This is your last night in the land of the living. You understand me, malevolent demon?
There was a rich family that lived here called the Hetheringtons, and unfortunately, their daughter passed away of a heart attack inside the house. Basically, they were so devastated that they reached out to people claiming to be psychic mediums. They actually weren't psychic mediums. They opened up a total of 11 portals inside this house and invited spirits and entities from all different kinds of dimensions.
Well, I think there are certain pieces of evidence that there is an afterlife.
Resurrection of the dead is affirmed pretty clearly in the Talmud and the Midrash.
To be honest with you, to give this lecture is a nightmare. If it was up to me, I wouldn't do it. There's going to be some graphic details.
This place is a maze.
The person after death went to a place called Sheol.
This is by far the largest near-death experience study that has ever been conducted.
People go to a place and they experience weird things. And sometimes they actually will see a character of some type. Well, where did that come from?
I don't know why that one chain is swinging back there.
They may describe feeling profoundly peaceful, seeing a bright, warm, welcoming light. Some people describe watching doctors and nurses working on them with incredible accuracy.
Next thing I knew, I was above my body watching the operation.
How long did you feel like you were gone?
I went to a place of timelessness. And so what that means, it could have been a second, could have been 5 minutes. I don't know.
Can you imagine waking up from your sleep and not being able to move?
As I'm lying there, I realized that there's an evil presence next to me.
Do you believe that angels, demons exist?
Holy shit, dude, get out of here! Oh my god, dude!
Strange things keep happening. Bizarre nightmares, as if I'm on fire.
Whoa, what the hell is this? Man, I've got bad chest pain.
Satan's Hollow is what it's called, the portal to hell.
Some people calling it an eye of fire, while others said it looked like the portal to hell opening up.
And the next thing I know, I was outside of my body, looking at my body.
What I'm going to do is called claromancy, the art of throwing lots or throwing bones.
2,000 years of experience, passed down, recorded, of how demons work.
God has them all on a leash, and he lets the leash go enough to let them tempt us, because that's what makes us spiritually stronger.
I'm trying to be as graphic as possible so you understand what we're talking about.
It's your ticket to reality. It's your ticket to freedom. It's your ticket to immortality.
Is there an afterlife? Is there a
It's
God?
the type of information that can keep you away from the Yetzirah.
What happens to us after we die?